Hi children, how are you? So last class in this topic nutrition, you already learnt, we discussed about the autotrophic nutrition, heterotrophic nutrition in plants already completed. So next one, human digestive system. Human digestive system. In this topic already we discussed some part. Today we recapitulate that one. Okay children, again we will continue. So first of all, when we are taking a food, we take through the mouth, we take the food. Through the mouth we take food. Okay, so if you observe the mouth, inside the mouth some set of teeth is there, and one muscular tongue also is there. So what are the types of the teeth? Mainly in our human body, in the mouth we can observe the four types of teeth. What are that one? Incisors, canine, molars and premolars. These are the four set of teeth. Okay children, total 32 teeth. Total 32 teeth. Okay children, these four are incisors, canine, premolars, molars and premolars. These are the four types of teeth. So if you observe the dental formula, it is very important in the view of examination. So what are the dental formula? 2123 by 2123. So it is the dental formula of the human beings. Okay children, next one, if you observe here, three pairs of salivary glands is there. Salivary glands. Okay children, when we are taking the food, when we cut or bite, after then we are chewing, so mix with the saliva. Here from the three pairs of salivary glands is there, so those are secrete the saliva. If you observe the saliva, it have the one enzyme, digestive enzyme. What is that one? Ptyalin. What is the main function of the ptyalin? So it can act on carbohydrates. It acts on carbohydrates. So this carbohydrates turn into maltose. What children? Maltose. Carbohydrates turn into maltose. That is the main function of the ptyalin, enzyme ptyalin. So here when we are taking the food, that food is chewing, grinding, so mix with the saliva. So this process is called the mastication. Mastication means this food is turned into slippery. Okay, so that is called the mastication. So how food is moving inside the mouth? With the help of tongue it can moving. Okay, after then we can swallowing. With the help of tongue we can swallowing. So if you observe that this is the human digestive system. So this is the pipe like structure, it is called the food pipe. What children? Food pipe. Okay, if you observe the inside the wall some layer is there, that is called the mucus layer. It is very helpful to the movement of the food material. Okay, so after mastication that food is called the bolus. That bolus is moved into, when we are swallowing it can move downwards. So at the time when it can travel, here some wave like movement. This is called the peristaltic movements. What is that one children? Peristaltic movement. Okay, so after then it can reach into the stomach. Okay, here this is the one sac like structure. If you observe the stomach, it is a sac like structure. So here this bolus is come and reached here stored. Okay, so here also some mucus layer is there inside the some layer is there, that is called the mucus layer. Mucus layer. Very good. So here walls of the stomach, it can secrete the HCl. So gastric juices, some gastric juices. What are the gastric juices? HCl and here pepsin and pepsin. So those two are called the gastric juices. Gastric juices. So here what is the main function of the HCl? When we are taking the food, if that food have any microorganisms or bacteria, they can kill that germs. That is the main function of the HCl. Next children, here pepsin is there. Next one, pepsin. So what is the main function of the pepsin? So here pepsin is react on proteins. On proteins. What we are taking the food, that food have the proteins that can digest in the stomach. So carbohydrates are digested in the mouth, but proteins are digested in the stomach. So here proteins are turned into peptones. Proteins are turned into peptones. So that is the main function of the pepsin. Okay children, here when this food bolus is mixed with the HCl, it is called the chyme. What? Chyme. This is the completely acidic nature. This is called the chyme. If you observe the stomach, it have the two walls here, starting and ending. Two valves is there. These are the sphincters. Those are called sphincters. Here this sphincter is very helpful to the passes of the food. It can control slowly. Small amount of the chyme only enter into this part. Okay children, that is the main function of the sphincter. That is the main function of the sphincter. So here also top one, starting also one sphincter is there. So it is also very helpful to us. What means? So food is moved downwards only. So it can control upward movements. It can control by the upward movements. Upward movements are controlled by this sphincter. Okay children, it can only allow this downwards only. Okay children, so this chyme is slowly small amount of food only allow into this pot. Okay sir. So here this is the small long tube like structure is there. It is called the small intestine. What is children this one? So this total tube like structure, it is called the small intestine. So if you observe starting point of the small intestine is called duodenum. What children? Duodenum. That is the starting point of the small intestine. Here we observe two types of glands. So here what is this one? This is the biggest gland, liver. Behind the stomach, liver is there. So from the liver some bile juices are released. So what is the main function of the bile juices? Actually we already know about the nutrients, major nutrients, carbohydrates, proteins and fats. These are the major nutrients. Okay children, here carbohydrates are digested, here proteins are digested. What are the remaining? Yeah, fats. Here fats are digested. Fats are turned into small globule like structures. That is called the emulsification. What is that one children? Emulsification. So here just you observe children, bile juices are secreted by the liver. to the duodenum, to the duodenum. So this lever, so here fats are digested turn into small globule like structures. That process is called emulsification. That means fats are digested here. Fats are digested here. So from the liver some bile juices are secreted. It can stored here pear like structure, round structure. It is called gallbladder. Gallbladder. So the bile juices are stored here. After that it can turn in mixed with the duodenum. It can release into duodenum. At the same way, so under the stomach, if you observe the leaf-like structure, it is called pancreas. What is, children? Pancreas. So it have the dual functions. Dual function. So dual function means it can release the enzymes and hormones. Enzymes and hormones. So it can do the two dual role. It can play dual role. Sometimes some part is released the enzymes, someone hormones. So here from the pancreas release the mainly three enzymes. Three enzymes are released. What is that one? Amylase, trypsin and lipase. Amylase, trypsin and lipase. The three enzymes are released by the pancreas to the duodenum. The duodenum. Here bile juices and pancreatic juices, those two are released into duodenum. Okay, children, duodenum. Here amylase. Amylase means acts on carbohydrates. Amylase acts on carbohydrates. It can turn into maltose. As well as trypsin acts on proteins. It can turn into peptones. Next, lipase. Lipase acts on fats. It can turn into fatty acids and glycerol. Fatty acids and glycerol. These three are released into duodenum. These three are released into duodenum. Okay, children. So here when it can, so here bolus is, sorry, chyme is in a acidic nature. When it is come to duodenum, when it can mix with the bile juices and pancreatic juices, it can turn into alkaline. It can turn into alkaline. Okay, children. Next one. Okay, children. So here amylase, trypsin and lipase, those three are released by from the pancreas. These are called the pancreatic juices released into the duodenum. So here duodenum is the starting point of the small intestine. Here if you observe the small intestine, it have three parts. Mainly we divide into three parts. First one is the duodenum, second one is the jejunum, third one is the ileum. Okay, children. First one duodenum, second one jejunum, third one ileum. So here if you observe here, when food is come to here add the pancreatic juices, bile juices, it can turn into alkaline. So it is called, this food is called chyle. Chyle. Children, just you observe, in the mouth this food is called bolus, it is called chyme, it is called chyle. Once again, children, it is called bolus, it is called chyme, it is called, it is chyme, it is chyle, it is chyme, it is chyle. Okay. So next one, so digestion, total digestion completed in the ileum. In the ileum, last part of the small intestine. Last part of the small intestine only digestion is completed. Okay, so if you observe the small intestine, here walls of the small intestine also release the some gases. walls of the inner walls of the small intestine. It is also released the some juices or enzymes that is called the succus entericus. What is that one? Very important. So succus entericus. It is released by the walls, inner walls of the small intestine. Inner walls of the small intestine. Okay, children. So what are those enzymes? If you observe these two, means peptidase and sucrase. Peptidase and sucrase, those two are released by the small intestine. So here small intestine, peptidase acts on peptides. It is turned into amino acids. Turn into amino acids. At the same way, sucrose, it can react on sucrose. It can turn into glucose. These two enzymes released by the walls of the small intestine. It is called the succus entericus. Okay, children, succus entericus. If you observe, here digestion is completed. So end of the small intestine, digestion is completed. Here, what are the nutrients or substances is there? It can absorb by the walls of the small intestine. So if you observe the inner wall of the small intestine, some finger-like projections is there. Finger-like projections. What are the finger-like projections? Are called villi. These are the finger-like projections. If you observe the villi like this, these are the arteries, blood vessels. It can also have some lymph vessels also. Okay, children. So these are finger-like projections. So many is there. What is the use? It can absorb the food material and expand the area. Expand the area. That is the use of the villi. Villi is the singular. Villus is a plural form. Okay, children. So food is absorbed by here, means substances. What are the nutrients? Those all are absorbed by the villi. It can mix with the blood. Next one. So remaining waste materials, means remaining undigested food and water, those two are moved to the large intestine. Large intestine. So here in the large intestine, here absorb the most of the water. Water is only absorbed here in the large intestine, and some minerals and water is absorbed by large intestine. So finally, some undigested waste products and carbohydrate, fats, proteins, fibers, those all are come and store in the colon. After then it can pass through the anus, send into outside. Okay, children, this is called the defecation. The passage of undigested food or indigested food material passes through the anus. That is called the defecation. Defecation through the anus. So this is the human digestive system. Okay, children, this is the human digestive system. So here one flow chart is there. So in the view of examination, most probably given the 2-mark question, so draw the flow chart of human digestive system. Here just observe, children, first one food. So starting is food, next one mouth, buccal cavity, next one esophagus, next stomach. Okay, children, stomach, next duodenum. After that duodenum, here liver and pancreas is came. After then small intestine, next one large intestine, next one colon, next one anus. This is the flow chart of the digestive system. Human digestive system. Once again children, we start with food, next one mouth, next buccal cavity. In the buccal cavity we can observe the teeth, tongue, palate. So these are. After that esophagus, here pharynx also is there. So buccal cavity after pharynx, pharynx after esophagus, stomach, duodenum, small intestine, large intestine, next colon, next anus. So this is the block diagram of the digestive system. Okay children. So next, hi children. So now we discuss about health aspects of alimentary canal. Health aspects. What are the health aspects? When we are taking the food, when we are taking means overeating. When we are overeating, we causes some problems in the alimentary canal. So what are that one? First one, vomiting. 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 So in this vomiting, how? What is vomiting? What is vomiting? Main, when we are taking means overeating, we causes the vomiting. What is vomiting? So vomiting means that is the body's method of ridding the waste from the stomach. That is the body's method. It is ridding of send outside the waste or undigested material. What we are taking that can send outside, that is called the vomiting. Okay children. So vomiting. When we causes the vomiting? First, best overeating. Overeating. Sometimes we eat more. That is the main cause for the vomiting. Okay children. Next one, when we are taking undigested food or poisonous food, that one also send outside. Send outside. Our stomach is not adjust this meal, that it cannot digest. So that's why it can send outside. So that is called the vomiting. Sometimes we causes the greenish vomiting. So greenish vomiting, why we causes means that is called the bilious or liverish. So when we causes this type of vomiting, what is the reason? When we are taking the food, if that food have the more fats, so where the bile juices are released by the liver is release the bile juices. But when we are taking the fatty foods, it cannot digest, it cannot show up into the small globules. At the time it can vomiting. Okay children. So if you observe, this is the taste is bitter. It is bitter taste. Okay. So Baileys are liverish. If you observe, this is what is the color? Green color, vomiting. Green color, vomiting. Why it is causes? It is the main reason. So few days, means 1 week or 2 weeks, gradually if you take the over meal, that food contain more fats. If that food contain more fats, we causes the bilious or liverish vomiting. It is bitter taste. So what is the main reason children? So that food contain, we are taking the several meal, means 1 week or 2 week, we are taking the more fatty food. That is the main reason we causes the vomiting. Okay, how we can avoid this one? So what are the ways we can follow? So here, so healthy people are follow these rules. One, having simple and well balanced meal. That is the very important. What children? Having simple well balanced meal. Next, eating them in a leisurely manner, not eat fastly. Okay, you can maintain the slowly. You can chew properly and grind properly. After can you can swallow it. So that is eating them in a leisurely manner. Next one, thoroughly masticating the food. So some people are hurriedly they can eating. At the time they can swallowing, not chewing. But we can't masticate means our stomach is not digest the total food. It is not possible. So thoroughly masticating the food. Next one, avoiding taking the violent exercise on eating the food. After meal, you don't do the exercise. If you do the exercise, it causes the vomiting or some health aspects of the alimentary canal. Next one, drinking plenty of water. It is the very important. So water is very essential for the digestion. That's why we must take the water. Okay children, healthy people follow these habits. If you follow this one, you can avoid these. Okay, what are that one? Having simple, well balanced meal, eating them in a leisurely manner, thoroughly masticating, you drink plenty of water, avoid the violent exercise after meal. Those are the some good habits if you avoid these aspects, health aspects. Next one more problem also is there, that is called the ulcers. Ulcers. What is the ulcer? What? Okay children, next, ulcers. You know what are the ulcers? So ulcers means a serious indigestion problems, caused by the stomach and duodenal ulcers. Okay, so a more serious form of indigestion that causes the stomach and duodenal ulcers. How we get ulcers? So what we are taking the food into what we are taking that food that we can't digest. That we can't digest means we get the ulcers. How means some people are very hurry. They have no rest. They are very busy people. Even they can't spend the time to eat the food proper way. So they can eat very fast. So who are taking like that food? We causes the ulcers. Okay children. So how we can avoid? How we can avoid the ulcers? When we are taking the food, at the time we sit one peaceful place. We eat slowly. We need some rest. Who are follow these rules or habits, they are avoid these ulcers. Okay children, so don't eat fast. Okay, you spend some time or you spare some time to the eating food. You must need some rest. Okay, don't forget children. Okay, next class we discuss about the malnutrition. Thank you children.